was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, 'cause I found my way. I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way. 'Cause I found my way.
Hey, welcome back to the Trauma Twins. We'll jump right into the episode about developing your language with spirit. This is part 2 of last week. The full episode is available uninterrupted today as well. But I love this, and I'm so excited to share it because you really get to see our dynamic as siblings at play and just how absurd and ridiculous and why she's just my person. And I can't wait to share it with you. So let's jump right in. On things you ascribe the meaning, and spirit will respond to that.
Or sometimes they do. It depends too who you're trying to communicate with.
But it'll make sense, right?
I know when I'm trying to communicate with certain members that have passed of my family, it's going to be things that I would, when I think about them, it would make sense for me.
It's 222. Anyway, go ahead. ADHD.
It's 222. That would make sense for them. It would make sense for me to see that. So if I'm trying to communicate with them, if I'm trying to communicate with my spirit team, I have set up a very specific kind of language with them. So you want to kind of go into that, like how we communicate with our spirit team?
Well, so I think with spirit team, for me, in my experience, it's a lot more guidance oriented, and I love yous, right? So for me, that shows up in like angel numbers, numerical sequences. Like when I need a little boost, I'll get that. 222 is about connection, companionship, anyway, what we're doing, but collaboration. I want you to talk a little more about this. So I had grandpa with my pennies. So grandma on dad's side, what do you associate
Paternal
with her?
grandma.
Paternal grandma.
I associate with her beauty, because she was always one to comment on my moles, because I think she grew up in that time frame when like Marilyn Monroe was big, and she used to love my moles, and she would call them beauty marks. They were never moles. They were always beauty marks. And she was a Taurus, and if you know your Tauruses,
Sensual,
you know that they
beauty.
love the finer things in life. And so I associate, even when she was kind of at that point where she wasn't really able to leave the house, she still had somebody come to the house to do her nails. She still got her hair done once a week. She had wigs, and she just loved to play dress up, and she had, jewelry that was clip-on, and I just associate with her those things that I enjoy about life, and beauty, and the beauty that I see around me.
Yeah. And then her son, Jimmy, our uncle, he passed in the Vietnam War.
Yep.
And we always associate with him like a protector.
He is very present in both of our lives. Yeah.
Patriotic. So anything patriotic has that flair for...
And if you know us, you know that we are not huge fans of America.
Well, military too. Like,
in the
I would say I'm a
sense
conscientious objector.
We're not people who like the system that is currently in place, or
we see the pride in it. Like, of course, there is something very, very honorable in defending.
And we
your
are
country
proud
and
to come
family.
from members who have served.
Yes. That's just not our
It's
journey.
just, I'm not going to have a flag out on my porch. It's just not who I am. But anytime
Especially
I see patriotic things, it makes me think of him.
Yeah. And that protectiveness.
Yeah.
So that is our association. Again, it wouldn't represent the same, even though my grandfather was a World War II vet. It has a different resonance because that's been attributed to Jimmy.
Yeah.
So. Okay, well, good. So I love this. We gave you tons of signs.
Yeah.
Personal experiences. We want you to read this book. So we're not just going to tell you the whole book. Obviously,
No, you got to read it.
Yeah, it's powerful. And I know there's going to be little nuggets for each of you that are going to resonate differently and just make your journey so much better and illuminate so much of your path. But the last part of the book, and where we want to take the second part of this talk, is she calls it like staying in the light. How do you keep yourself at that vibration, at that frequency where you can talk and communicate? I want to be very clear here. this language and this development and relationship with spirit is not based on a morality. And it's taken me
No.
years to get this, and this is
Yeah.
our church trauma.
Yeah.
But so many people think, oh, I'm not worthy, or I'm not behaving well, or I'm not doing the right things in my life. That's not how spirit works. Like you said in the last one, the universe is very neutral. We create our reality. We pull what we want to us. So if we are stuck and mired in negative thoughts and that's what we focus on, that's what we attract. And that's how the universe is. It doesn't hear anything different. It's just like, oh, she thinks she's a piece of shit
And it's hard for them to get signs through when
because
you're
of our
in
conditioning
that
and our,
vibration.
yep. But that's
Yeah.
when that self-love piece, if you start loving yourself and knowing your worth and seeing your worth and owning it, again, like taking it on, speaking it to yourself, the universe just matches that. And really what it is you're opening to these possibilities and these opportunities. You start seeing
vibrating
them more.
higher.
You raise your vibration so you see the openness, the infiniteness more so. And that comes in again in examples and experiences of like opportunity and people and relationships that come into our life. So again, if you start there, there's not a morality base. Spirit is always there talking to you. It's just if you're available to hear it, if you're open,
Or you're present in the moment.
present enough, and just So how do you stay in that flow state or that level of communication and vibration? And again, our whole life is a journey to this.
This
right?
is going to be
there's
different
levels
for
always.
everybody.
Yes.
And
Yep.
I think that what we're trying to do is just kind of give you a glimpse into what works for us because it might be completely different for you.
Yes.
So don't take this as the end all be all. You have to do these
Absolutely,
things.
yeah.
But for me, a lot of it is meditation and getting quiet. And then I get downloads that way. I get a lot of stuff in my dreams.
Making space for it.
Yeah. During the day, I oftentimes will make gratitude lists of things that I'm grateful for, or I acknowledge things that happen and
Gratitude
just
again.
say things that, I'm really blessed or I'm really loved, and constantly reaffirming
it.
that thing.
Feeling that.
Yes.
Because that's how we're going all over by the universe responds to the feeling. The heart center is, you can think something, but it's how you feel it. And that's the energy. That's what the universe responds to. So again, like I was double back to, if you feel negative about yourself, that it's
or your circumstances or your life.
yeah, that's what the universe is going to respond to, is how you really feel about yourself. You're not going to get your partner that is worthy of you if you don't see yourself as worthy of that partner. And it's
absolutely not.
And you can say, it's psychology, it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
It's mind, body, spirit connection. So
Yeah. You don't have the space to hold for that person.
so just keep that in mind, but keeping yourself in that space of gratitude and that openness, that open-heartedness. So what does this look like? So we thoughts are powerful, keeping our thoughts positive. And I know that sounds, because I know people like to be in the...
But no, I get it. I'm dark. I'm
Yeah.
heavy. And recently, actually, I had a moment when somebody who had done me very wrong was on my mind and kind of pulling on me energetically. And whenever that happens for me, I tend to say, I acknowledge and I am thankful for the relationship and time that we had. I release you with love and light and send help.
But that's so, but do you hear how powerful that is?
I send my help from my angels and guides that I can, and then I release it. And as I was doing that, I was looking out the window and I saw the largest dragonfly I've ever seen in my life, Dave.
How big?
Like this big.
Yeah?
It was huge.
That's fucking huge.
And it
I would
was
have been scared.
it was kind of just doing this weird dance in my backyard. And I remember thinking, like, it's going to start raining because it was really dark out. And it was dancing and it was so beautiful. And it started to sprinkle and it was still dancing. And I went to go get my phone to Google, because I'm a huge Googler. Can dragonflies stay out in the rain? Because I was like concerned for its well-being. Like, should I open the door for it? And
He knows what he's doing.
as I was going to do it, I thought, no, I need to stay present in this moment and just take in
That's
the
a great-
beauty of it.
Yeah.
And
see how your mind wanted
Yeah.
to take you out of it already, but
Yeah.
just sit in it as long as you can.
I
Yeah.
immediately was like, no, I can't. And so I used to be the type of person who would want to grab my camera to capture it and be like, oh, Dave, look at the sign I just got. But another one was when I moved in the house, that I'm currently living in.
Yes. You get a lot of bugs.
I had a lot of fear around, did I make the right choice? And I set up my altar and my prayer space in one of the rooms. And I went downstairs and I heard a knock on the patio door. And it was weird. And so I ignored it. And then the dog barked at it. And then I got up to look. And I don't know what the knock was. I have no idea. But when I looked, I saw a bunch of dragonflies swirling and dancing around that window of the room where I had set up all my crystals and my prayer space.
Outside the window, too.
Yeah,
right.
And it
outside the
lasted
room where you
for like
set it
5
up, yeah.
minutes. And I remember in that moment, I thought, I want to film this. I want to make sure that I can savor this and remember it. But I kept telling myself, no, just be present right now and just enjoy the beauty that is before you, because it's for you right now. It's not for anything else.
Which
it'll happen
share.
again.
Like in our last video, we posted
Yeah.
like that deer came up to me and the cat with you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, spirit
But it's
knows.
getting to a place of also recognizing that you don't have to capture it because you're going to keep experiencing it.
Yeah,
it's going to keep happening for you.
It's fun to share though when people share with it. Like,
I immediately called you.
I know. It's
I was
the
like,
exciting-
David, you're not going to believe this.
Your experience,
Yeah.
even though it was for you, gratifies me and
Yeah.
it enriches my experience and like just my joy for you
Yeah.
in that moment. Yeah, no, share your
Share.
signs, share your experiences.
Tell
like,
everyone.
Yes, it's whether they get it or
brings
not.
people
You never
joy.
know what will resonate with others. So thoughts. Keeping yourself in a positive mind space as much as you can, or an open-hearted space, rather, a curious space for those who are more skeptical. Just be open. Any good scientist, like you're wise enough to know that you don't know until it's
Be
proven.
aware of your
just
surroundings.
Be aware.
There's things like taking mindful walks.
So grounding,
or-
she talks about grounding is very important. What does grounding mean?
Grounding.
Yeah.
It literally means what it says. There have been moments where I've had to literally go outside and walk on my grass and just sit my ass down and feel the earth.
Yeah. So we ground houses for electricity. Like it's what keeps you plugged into the earth and keeps you safe. It keeps you, so that, like you said, walk through the grass barefoot, but being in nature. We are nature. And people forget that.
It's scientifically proven, I think.
We're
that
animals,
As
like
soon
we
as you
are.
spend 15 minutes in a forest, your stress level decreases by 60%.
Negative ions, she
Yeah.
mentions. The ocean. The ocean is, the air is full of negative ions, which
is
I
why it
don't know the
recharges.
science as much. I need to read more on this. But it
Go
takes
figure.
away.
I do. You're like the...
Well, I
the
do. I feel like
educational one.
but I just, I got to reread stuff because I forget it as soon as it's in there,
I feel special.
Good for you. Good.
Okay, anyway. But no, there is power in the elements.
Yes.
And knowing your element as well. I love the saying, like, when's the last time you watered your water sign? Or when's the last time you plowed your...
I'm sorry, done. Yeah, no, go. Keep going.
When you plowed your earth sign? Like, when's the last time you blew your
Very
air
different
sign?
cultures, very different experiences. That says so much
Not
more about
really.
me than you.
Not
but...
really at all. Because I would have...
Oh my God, I love spirituality. I love it.
Fun!
Last episode, I kept doing the triangle, but I kept doing this.
I'm like, Dave.
Why? Why? It was subconscious, and that's what freaks me out. Like, what the am I doing? What am I doing around people that I don't know? Plowing. Anyway, wow. Oh, that was so stupid.
Or blow your air sign. When's the last time you blew your air sign?
Girl, I'm getting that on a plaque.
I'm just saying. It's true. You need to know your signs. Like, I am a fire sign.
Why you say
naturally.
this is because depending on your element,
Yeah.
energetically,
And this
you
is
will
not
have
just your
different.
sun sign. You need to know your chart.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fire sign, but I get grounded in water because I am a lot of water.
So-
I have a lot of heavy Cancer and Scorpio energy.
Yes.
And because of that, I can lay in a pool or the ocean or a stream and literally for hours just be in such a meditative, recharging state.
Yes.
Yeah.
So usually our opposite elementally is what will ground you. So it's funny because the ocean will obviously, calm me and
Gives
but
me life.
But
yeah.
I don't get as much out of the ocean as I do, say, the mountains,
Yeah.
which are earth and like forests. Like
Where
that's
I-
where I really
yeah.
like release the tension
Yeah.
and stuff. Ocean's amazing, but not the same.
Which
It's
for
just-
I love the forest. I'm the one that walks down the street and I'm hugging trees and I love to touch the trees and
Touch,
to communicate
touch.
and to walk barefoot. I love to do those things. But I also
Blow me. I love it.
it's never gonna go away. I'm gonna hear this to the end of
I am so done. Anyway.
Anyway, I will frolic along like a little hippie to get grounded. But I noticed that when I lived in shut the
I'm sorry, I
fuck.
can't. I just love us.
You gotta plow your earth sign.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
What else do you do to Earth? You plow
It's gonna
it.
be like in the Hobby Lobby, hate them. Hobby Lobby like script on the side it says plow me.
Don't buy me anything from there.
When's the
Oh
last
my
time
god.
you plowed
Plow me.
your earth sign?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I feel
God.
like that would be a shirt that sells.
Yes, I think it will be available in our merch store eventually. Yes, plow me. God.
Point is,
Yes.
is that when I lived in Asheville, I felt very disconnected from water.
Yes.
And so
Because you're in the mountains, yep.
I appreciated the beauty, but after a couple months, it was like, I need water. Where's my water source?
Yeah. Another grounding, smudging. I can't stress enough. If you
There's
take
a
on heavy energy,
reason.
if your house is heavy energy, if you work out, like I'm a server.
Yeah.
Servers, girl, smudge you.
I keep smudging the car.
Smudge your house. Seriously, or Palo
do.
Santo, not to like burn it
That's what I
necessarily,
keep
but-
in my car because that's the less smellier, I think, of the two, and I enjoy that smell more.
Yes.
I keep it in my glove compartment with a lighter, even though I don't smoke, so that if a situation arises, I can do it outside of my car really quick.
And it sounds, but literally there's something to it. There's a reason.
There's a
these
reason,
traditions
like
are here.
things like the
Incense.
church, Catholic churches
Yes.
use incense. These are things that have
Purification.
gone on for millennia, and there's a reason for it.
Isn't it
There's
funny how
power in
something
it.
can be so twisted and perverted, but at the same time, at its essence, there are these traditions that everything comes from somewhere.
Yeah, well,
So,
I mean, everything kind of like they stole
Explore.
that from paganism. So I
Yeah.
mean, like, yeah,
Explore when we lived with the land again. So smudging fire, that's a really cleansing purification like
sometimes,
technique.
yeah, I need to burn some shit.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. More. Let's talk physical. She talks about literally mind, body. There's no.
Yeah. There are a lot of times when he'll call me and
Yeah.
he'll be like, I am feeling these emotions and I don't know what to do. And it makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, give them to me. I want to feel them.
And
I
I'm just
want
like,
to
ugh,
feel that. And he's like, how do I get rid of this? I want it off. Get it out of me. And so what do I always tell you? You got to move.
You got to move.
it.
And that for
Move. Mm-hmm.
my mental health in this last few years, I've really noticed I've taken a more active approach in my mental health through working out and physical.
Yeah.
I don't go to the gym to get fit. I go to the gym literally to get rid of this negative energy, this
Release it.
intense, and I'm a very spastic person. So if I don't move, and that's where yoga, traditions like yoga, yoga is the only tradition I know that literally every posture is corresponding, and it works all your chakra systems. It
There's
moves
some
every.
positions though. Ooh.
Well, that's the point.
Release
'cause
the floodgates.
And it does, and every position is what's the like a reverse or
Mm-hmm.
it's opposite of the one before it. If you do a lot of like flow sun salutations and stuff.
Yeah.
And it works every muscle group, releasing energy, lactic acid, like all these different things, tension, literally,
And sometimes
muscle
if
tension.
you know which chakra is off, you can do all of that.
We need to talk about chakras sometime.
Yeah.
We'll do an episode on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But chakras meaning energy centers in the body, and each has like a reign over something, you know, like the base lower
Root.
chakras, the root, sacral, and then solar plexus. Those are like willpower, sexuality, creativity, and just survival. Like
We're
your
getting so
primal.
far off topic.
But no, this
yeah.
this is good.
Yeah.
Heart chakra, and then your upper chakras, the throat, the third
Yeah.
eye, the crown, are more spiritual. They're meant to connect higher to
Yep.
thought, to expression, and like sound form. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so why I say all this? The body. She talks about grounding. So
move.
movement is a big part. The food you eat, and I don't want to be this person because I'm not vegetarian. I was for 8 years, but everything comes from somewhere, right? And just think of factory farming. If everything is energetic, the way the animals are treated, the way that they are produced in their lives, like that energy doesn't just dissipate. It goes into their body physically, and we're consuming that.
Yeah.
Just think about it. So when you buy organic,
Yeah.
pesticides, again, just stuff you're taking into your body. I'm not a health food nut.
Oh, I enjoy a steak. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie
like a
about it.
vape. Everything serves its purpose.
Yeah.
However, but no, think about that stuff. Just be aware and
And
curious.
also the mindset you're in when you're eating.
Yes,
I was telling
gratitude
him
prayer.
about one of the recent studies that I was looking at, where they were trying to reduce cholesterol levels, and they were, feeding the same diet to the separate animals, and the one animal had lower levels, and they realized watching the video it was because when they were being fed, the person was kind
Studies
of
on this.
petting them and touching them and making them feel loved, and that state of being, it metabolized
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
differently in their body. And so if you're in a bad spot, if you're not mentally in the right place, do not pick up food.
It sounds silly, but
Don't touch it.
that E Squared challenge I'm going to do is a book, Eat Squared, Pam Grout. Check it out. I can't wait
yeah.
to share this with you guys. This is going to be so fun.
That's-
But
yeah.
there's a part of that where she talks about blessing. There is something. There's a
Yeah.
reason we bless our food. Why
Yeah.
we have grace and prayer. Literally, they had Buddhist monks. I think is the big one. There's a study. I thought it starts. It's Japanese. I don't want to slaughter it, Makimoto. I forget. But anyway, they do this study of water, and we are 70%, 80% water, whatever. But also with the food we eat, and what they did is they had monks come in and pray over one container
what
of
you're
water,
talking about, yeah.
and then they had another one where they didn't, and then another one where they were they shouted at it and cursed at it and just
Negativity.
negativity, and then they froze the water and looked at it under a microscope. Fascinating. You want to talk about science catching up to spirituality? It's all the same thing. It's two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
We call it one thing, we just don't understand it yet. The water keeps the memory.
Yeah.
It energetically retains the energy. So the water frozen with the blessings, it was completely different and fractals and beautiful, and whereas the water with the other it didn't hold its form as much. It was curious. Fascinating. Look that up. Frozen
lot
water,
of the
Japanese frozen water
reason
experiment.
why
I'll put it maybe in the.
if you put water by your bedside
I'll
at
put a
night,
thing in this.
throw it out the next morning. Do
Yes.
not drink it.
Yep.
Because a lot of stuff that comes out in the time that you're recharging is in that water. So throw it out. Do
water
not drink
holds
that
energy.
water. Yeah.
It's silly, but it's
true.
energy, and that's why being by water. Why I picked this place where
Mm-hmm.
I live. I live on a lake. The water's more calming for me. It was more healing.
You needed that.
Yes, it's just we know what we need. So yes, food. Just be aware. Be aware of what you're putting in your
And be
body.
thankful for it.
Bless your food because you digest it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Your body will accept it differently, and that's in that Pam Grout book. That's
Again,
one of the
it's coming
experiments.
all back to gratitude.
Yeah, and it's all about your heart attitude. It has nothing to. Yes, some
Being
food is
thankful
more
that you
nutritious,
can have this,
but it's on a cellular
that
level.
I can taste this, that I'm having this experience. I'm grateful for it.
And that goes to the presence, being mindfulness. Tangents. Lastly, I would say prayer meditation. Make space to stay in that flow. Make time and space. Make it a priority. When you make connecting with spirit a priority, your life will transform. It will put you on a different path.
Yeah.
It's work. And I don't want you to look at it that way, but the work is in making space.
It's
for
kind of
it.
like when people say marriage is a work.
Yeah.
It's work, but it's the good kind of work.
When you come at it from love.
Yeah.
Yes. A
Yeah.
labor of love.
It's work that you want to do.
Yeah. It's just.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes you
No,
don't
sometimes
wanna do
the last thing you want to do is sit down at an altar and be calm.
Yeah.
But that's where the
That's
power
where the power is.
That's where the healing, that's what you need. And we
Yeah.
often, for whatever reason, we have a tendency to avoid what we need.
Yeah.
Another one that she really said, it was travel. And I thought that was really
Yeah.
interesting. For
Cultures.
me, I'm a Gemini, but travel's my MO. Travel makes
That's
me
a
feel alive. It's
Sagittarius energy,
cleansing.
too.
It's rejuvenate. Yep. There's a lot of signs that thrive on it. There's cancer's probably not, but
No.
but what travel does is it puts us in new energetic
Mm-hmm.
spaces. Literally, the land has an energy. I always say that
Mm-hmm.
every city has its own feel. The people, the population,
Mm-hmm.
the plant life, just the geography. I love looking at trees.
The art, the beauty.
Yep. And then you get into beauty, surrounding yourself with beauty. She actually mentions art. don't underestimate the power of color and art in your space. Like,
There's got to be some point in your life where you saw something in an image and it spoke to you.
you're deeply.
You have to pay attention to that.
Yes, yes. If there's an image that makes
Do you
you come
remember
alive.
when
Yeah.
I was going through that huge phase where I was buying a lot of art and I bought that piece that was black and white? And I had it in my
Yes, and
apartment
you
for
were
like a week. And I literally said to him, I have to take this back. I
Yep.
can't. It's too heavy.
It just doesn't fit.
It's not the energetic field I need.
And there's different times in your life where you
Mm-hmm.
resonate differently. Like, that's what a lot of crystal stuff is. Like,
Yep.
if you're drawn to a certain crystal color, or like,
I wear a lot of black.
color therapy is a thing. It really
because
is.
I think it shields me. But now I'm in a season where I wear a lot of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Where before I used to only wear black or grays.
Yeah. So don't underestimate art. If
Mm-hmm.
you are inspired by something, that is going to inspire you to be creative as
Yeah.
well. And don't
Comedy.
overlook that stuff. Yeah, comedy, yes.
Art can be
yes.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Plants
Yeah.
for me. I love plants. Just that makes me
Beauty.
feel connected. Oh my God! So this was an episode. Why don't you wind it down for us? Like, what do we got coming up? What do we want to do?
We're going to be us. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. So we hope that you will join in on those conversations and make sure that
Please.
you like, subscribe to our channels, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, follow us. Divinity Dave brand anywhere. Serendipity is going to be coming up soon too, so we're going to start building that. Join us though in the Garden of Divinity Discord.
Yes.
Like, comment on any of the
Community.
socials, but we want to build community. So meet us there. We'd love to start
Not a cult.
interacting. Not a cult.
Let's be clear, I do not want to be a Netflix special
well, after our
where it's like the twin flame lady or mother god, whatever
your
it
Earth
was.
sign.
I'm never going to live that down, ever.
Bye.
What do you do to an earth sign? You plow them.
Dead.
What else do you do to an earth sign?
Dead.
You plow it.
There's a lot more I think you
But
could
I
do
think
with.
of farming.
Yes, I got the reference. Bye, guys.